Hi, it's Nell, and I really wasn't planning on filming this video today, but I just filmed another video. It's overcast because it's going to rain, so I think it's great lighting to do it. And I think I'm going to call this video Pruning to Rejuvenate a Neglected Rose. And this, I am 90% sure, is a hybrid tea. It could also be a grandiflora, but because of the size, I think it's a hybrid tea. So stick around, I'm going to start to prune it. There's only been like 4 flowers on this plant, on this rose, since I moved in, so it's hard to say what it is because the flowers could be very much smaller and off color, but it's really very highly fragrant. It smells so good. So I'm thinking it might be Princess de Monaco, or maybe Falling in Love, or Bolero, or I think it's a little too pale for Memorial Day, although I'm not quite sure. So if any of you know for sure, let me know. But when the rose comes back to health, I'm going to hopefully be able to figure out what it is. If you're new to the world of rose pruning, just be careful, because the hybrid teas especially, I found, have really large thorns because their stems are long. And those thorns get even longer and thicker as the stem goes down. It's in this very tight space back here, tight and not that terribly attractive space in the very back corner of my new home. So I wanted to do it while the lighting was good. And I got the Desert Bird of Paradise branch out of the way. And this is the end of September. No, not the end of September. It's just right after Labor Day. It's the day after Labor Day here in Tucson, Arizona. So I am in the desert, a different climate, obviously. So I'm just going to give it a light pruning now. And in probably, I would imagine, mid to end of February, I will give it its really good hard pruning, the one that takes the hybrid tea almost all the way back. But for now, I'm just going to clean it up and see what happens. This one would be ideal to have somebody pruning me, filming me, but I don't have anyone. So I'm going to go down about approximately 5 nodes, and you want a branch that faces outward. I mean a leaf node that faces outward. And you clip it right above there. I'll also do a close-up of that for you too, so we can see that. And then here's another one right here. I'm just going to work on a few outer branches first so that I can work my way in, because I really want to clean out some of these inner branches here. I ideally want to have maybe about 7 of these canes left so that I can get them back and good and healthy. There's a close-up of a cut. It's close to the node, but not right at it. And the leaf, that terminal leaf and the terminal bud are both facing out. And you also don't want the cut too much above the node either. It's really hard to get me and the camera in here, so I hope you can see this. Here's a piece of inner growth I'm going to take off here. And taking that all the way down to the main stem. I'm going to take off this one completely. I'm just going to cut it here for now. And there are those canes down there that I have to go down and cut. I'm just doing the top ones first because the space is so tight. But it's starting to open up a little bit on the inside. As you can see, there's stuff back there. There's some canes back there that have to come out. This big tall cane here, I'm just going to take it all the way out. And the reason that you have to prune roses, especially like the hybrid teas and the grandifloras and those, after every bloom, and also a very hard prune in either the late winter or into spring, depending on where you are, is because it takes a lot of energy for roses to flower, and you need to cut them back so that they can rest. And it also gives them a much better form. Otherwise, they get like this. Uh-oh, this one's just flippy-flopping over completely, so it's going to come out because it's majorly crossing over. I'm going to open up this. some. Even though this has a bud on it, I'm gonna take it off because it's too close. And then this is too close into here, so I need to take out something here. I think I'm going to take out this one here. Not the most beautiful plant I've ever shown you, but it's all cleaned out in the middle and it's down to the canes I want. But there's one thing I don't like, and I'm going to take it out. It's this cane here. It's just flopping over too much. It's the first one I started to prune, and that's sometimes what happens. And there's a node right here. So I'm going to cut that right there. There we go. We have it nice and open. We have, oh, I forgot to take out this one here. I wanted to take out this one here too. I am thrilled because I have Tony to film me with a really good camera, so now you're going to be able to actually see what I was talking about in the video. This cut that I took right here, where I was saying that you want the new growth to face outward, you can see it really well here because it's a couple weeks later, and there's new growth emerging there and here. And this is where the flower actually comes from. It comes from this new growth, and that's why you want to prune a rose, because it takes a lot of energy for the rose to flower, so it needs to have a bit of a rest in between so it can put that new growth out. And I just want to show you how I've really opened up the inside of the rose here so a lot of the air can get in. It's against this wall here, so I wanted to really thin it out in here, which I did. And I may, in January or February, when I do that big pruning, I may take out this cane here too. I'll see how it comes along there. But in the meantime, this is that rose that was flowering when I did the earlier portion of the video, and you can see how it's the new growth. You can see it's that new growth. It's that really limey green, very fresh growth. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this whole cane right off. I've got this yucca here that is stab worthy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this off right here, this whole thing. And then I'll go back and I'll clean up this here. Sort of hard to get an old rose completely cleaned up because who knows how this one's been pruned. But as you can see, there's a delightful little rose coming at the base here. New one, which I will cut off after it flowers also. And I put a layer of compost around the base here. I just sort of aerate it a little bit so that the compost will work in really well. You don't want to jab around a rose too hard or too deep because they only have a few main roots, more like a tap root. There's anywhere from like 3 to 7 of them, and then a lot of fibrous roots run off of that. So if you injure 1 or 2 of those big roots, it's really going to hurt the rose. But this compost is just going to enrich it. As I said, I didn't want to fertilize it because it's the end of the season, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of nourishment, and this is a local organic compost. It's now October 1st, so it's 4 weeks after the first portion of this video was filmed. And look, there's a lot of flower buds on that new growth. So I am going to get to see what this rose is this year. And next year, after I do that big pruning and fertilize it and compost it, it should be even more beautiful. So I hope you have found this video to be helpful, and I thank you for all your likes, your subscribes, and your comments. I really appreciate them. It's a beautiful day in the garden here. Speaking of garden, let's get out in the garden and make the world a more beautiful place. As always, I thank you so much for watching. Bye.